If you've been working on your social life, trying to improve it, to feel more comfortable in your own skin, and you still feel dissatisfied with it, like you managed to make so much progress, but you still feel like something's off. Like, despite the fact that you do feel more comfortable, you're still dissatisfied with your performance, with how many friends you managed to attract, with how much respect you managed to gather from people. Well, if that's the case, you might just be suffering from social dysmorphia. I totally made that up. I have no idea if there is such a term as social dysmorphia, but there is the term called body dysmorphia, which happens when people go to the gym, for example, they build their body up really nicely, but they still perceive themselves as they used to be like a couple of years ago when they were just lazy, doing nothing. Their perception is completely messed up, and social media just makes this even worse, like so much worse. When we're talking about fitness, there are models that are in the perfect lighting with the pump on, just posting picture after picture with the perfect conditions. And people just know they don't have the perfect conditions 24/7, so they feel inferior. You might just encounter this when we're talking about your social life, where you have moments where you're not at your best. You have moments where perhaps you're just caught up in your own mind thinking about stuff. Perhaps you're just low on energy. It's the end of a really tough day for you. And you encounter social opportunities where you just can't perform at your best. But you hear people talking online about how you just have to be magnetic and charismatic and attract people to you 24/7. You even see people around you, like your friends, that manage to be charismatic quite often. Like in most interactions you have with them, they show that charismatic, confident side. But that's only like 1% of their life. It's only like a very small percentage of their day right there and then. They're not like that all the time. And you have to be really, really aware of the possibility of this social dysmorphia condition. Because if you fall into the trap of having these sky high expectations, these expectations that no one on earth is able to sustain for quite a long period of time, then you're always gonna start criticizing you. Your mind is gonna become your enemy, because now if you have like one moment where you're just low on energy, which is by the way completely normal, your mind will start bullying you. And now anxiety is knocking at your door because you are not performing as good as you should perform. So then what's the superior approach to this? Well, first of all, you have to understand that encountering situations where you are not at your best, it's completely normal. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's healthy. That's how we are all wired. We don't have superhuman strength and like magic abilities and stuff like that. So we have to just make the best of what we have, right? So for that, what you want to do is to just understand that there are gonna be situations and social opportunities even that you are gonna miss. Like, even if you become like the most charismatic version of you, the most socially confident version of you, there are still gonna be social opportunities you're gonna miss. Like, if you admire me for my content, for everything I'm putting out on the table right here through these videos, perhaps you view me as a social god or something, which is far from the truth. In fact, I'm quite a basic guy. I'm not extremely special. I just made a lot of progress from being extremely shy and awkward and introverted to being a lot more carefree and quite chill socially. That's all. Your projection that you have of either me or your friends that you look up to from this social perspective, that's messed up. It's unrealistic. It's just an avatar that's in your mind. That's not even true, and it's only making you feel worse and worse and worse. But like literally, if you were to just get a bit of a sneak peek into a friend of yours life, you would just realize that they are not feeling as good as you think they are 24/7. Even if they do have this like wide group of friends and they just seem to hang out all the time, feel good together, there's a lot of jealousy and envy between them. There are a lot of hidden resentments between them. That's just natural in a group. Like, the wider the group, the more hidden resentments are gonna arise. That's just the nature of things. The wider the group, the more shallow the conversations as well. So you have to understand that you are just envious of like a very small section, a very small percentage of someone else's life in this situation. And perhaps you and the person you envy, you are not so far away from them. It's just that you are very far away from the avatar that you have in your mind, which is not even true because such a person doesn't even exist in the first place. So you just have to take some time and think about this on your own. Start assessing the situation more objectively, with an open mind, with realistic assessments, right? Not just thinking about your, I don't know, fantasy avatar projection that you have in your mind. Because people like that don't really exist. Like perhaps there are like 0.01% of humanity or something like that are like truly managing to be like that 24/7, but they sacrifice other areas of your life that you are probably not willing to sacrifice. Because to be like that 24/7, you have to like be an extrovert first of all, and you have to just expose yourself to social situations like all the time. You're probably not willing to do that, which is completely fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with you for that. So having these moments of being more solitary, of being like caught up in your head, thinking about important things in your life, like life decisions, and even inner debates you're having regarding certain domains like philosophy or some sport or whatnot, that's okay. You don't have to go like a magnet from person to person, from social interaction to social interaction. Being a lone wolf from time to time is still fine. So, having that said, the best thing you could do is to just destroy your expectations altogether. To destroy your expectations because that those things just reinforce your vibe of performance, right? Your mentality of having to perform to raise up to a certain level, and instead just embrace, instead just be chill. Of course, like still go outside of your social comfort zone from time to time. You have to assess that for yourself and establish like what's your social comfort zone, where do you want to read, where do you want to get to, like what point you want to reach in your social life, if there is still work to do or not. But just putting so much pressure on you, that's never gonna work. The best thing you could do is to just be chill, and eventually that's gonna be your goal anyway. Like the highest version of you possible is a chill version of you, not one that is trying to reach a certain goal, a certain like performance. People don't like performances, especially when we're talking about like human interactions, basic human interactions. People like genuine people. So leverage that and start being more genuine yourself, focused outwards, and just being chill, being cool, not comparing yourself to others, not feeling inferior because someone else is like 1% of their day is far better than your entirety of the day, like than your worst moments of the day. That's just unfair and it's detrimental as well. So just let go of that belittling, of that delimiting, how do you say it? Belittling inner beliefs and that bullying voice inside your head, and just be. Instead of just trying to be something, just be.